Our next guest is an Afghan translator and advisor named Saboor, who worked with my unit and other U.S. forces from 2007 to 2014. We knew him as Abdul before becoming an American citizen 3 years ago.
And now, 1 year after the botched Afghanistan withdrawal and Taliban takeover of Saboor's home country, he says he feels like he's watching the nation die in front of his eyes, and there is nothing he can do. Saboor joins us now. Saboor, thanks for joining us this morning. I have to tell you, the thing that's breaking my heart the most as I read reports out of Afghanistan is the famine, is the hunger and people selling their children, which is mind-boggling, but shows a level of desperation. What can you tell us about that?
Well, good morning, everybody. Thanks for having me on the show. Listen, one of the worst humanitarian crises happening in Afghanistan right now. As you said clearly, people are sleeping. My own relatives, my uncles and my aunts that are still there in Afghanistan, they're sleeping without food at night. And this is all to say goes back into the larger context of what happened in Afghanistan less than a year ago. And that was that we handed the country to a group of guerrilla fighters that did not know or does not know how to run a government. They do not know what governance is all about. So all they know is how to shoot a weapon. And that's what happens when you hand a nation with so much hope into the hands of those kind of fighters, those kind of people that do not understand the rule of law, that do not understand what it takes to lead a nation to prosperity.
Saboor, great to see you. How is your family members that have made it to the States? I mean, what's it like to be here and yet reflect on the world away that is Afghanistan a year later?
Pete, to repeat that one more time. You broke up.
Just your family members that are here, how are they? And what's it like to be here a world away 1 year later after the botched withdrawal?
Oh, no, this is a blessing to be, be connected with relatives and family. Part of emigrating to a new nation and building a new home is that this sense of loneliness and isolation that comes with it. And then when you see families connect and rejoin with one another, it's truly a blessing. And we are truly blessed with the support and the love that we have received from community members, from family and friends, that, we're connected back with a larger family. My brothers are here. And we're celebrating. But yet, at the same time, at the dinner table, we are living with sorrow and grief every night. Because remember, last year, this time, 13 servicemen and women of United States Armed Forces died at Abbey Gate. 170-plus Afghans died at the Abbey Gate. And what happened, we all take that grief with us. There are families, U.S. family members right now that are grieving over the death of their loved ones. And so we live with that every single day. Despite all of the happiness and joys that we have, our hearts are broken because we know in front of our eyes, our birth nation, a nation which was full of hopes, it, Pete, is dying right now. And we can't do anything about it.
Really quickly, Saboor, I'm curious of your perspective on this. We've read so much about the regression of rights, specifically when it comes to women, but general life in Afghanistan. Over 1 year, what is the sense of where it's headed? I mean, has this been unfolding slowly, and we're only partway through the process of the Taliban's vision of Afghanistan?
Yeah, no, they have said it. The Taliban themselves have said we have not implemented the rule of law as of yet. So this could only get worse. Last year, I was on the show and I said, listen, this group does not understand how to deal with the modern world. And they're stuck in the past. And so one of the things that we have to understand with this group in particular as it relates to the Afghan women and the girls, and now we're coming to a full year of girls and being unable to go to a school. And so they're stuck in this past of something that they have said that women are not allowed. And so the world is building a lot of pressure on them. But we got to do more, right? Because right now, all those dreams, all those hopes and aspirations that women and girls had going to education, becoming a better version of themselves and doing better than what their parents said are unable to do because of these brutal laws and toxic culture that are being implemented in Afghanistan. Afghanistan.
Well, Saboor, you did so much for us. You continue to do everything you can alongside vets for others that are still left behind in Afghanistan. God bless you. Thank you for speaking so eloquently about your country, but also the service of Americans. And congratulations yet again on being a U.S. citizen and a wonderful member of our country.
Pete, thank you so much for having me on the show, and thank you guys for all that you do. And again, one of the last things that I would say with regards to Afghanistan as a whole, falling into or handing Afghanistan as a general into the hands of some of the most brutal and criminals of what some of them used to be on or still are in the most wanted FBI list, or governing the nation of over 40 million
and harboring
people.
Al-Qaeda at the same time.
Yeah,
it's not good.
So you can imagine what this is like for the nation.
I can't imagine.
It was really hard for people, and we said it. We warned the United States to this evacuation, this withdrawal that took place was very, very poorly done. It was never done the right way, and the negotiation failed.
Indeed, Saboor, thank you so much. God bless you, brother.
Thank you, Pete.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.